Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
We can chant together. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome to this session on Saturday evening. So this is our second session of chapter 3. Yes. So we will start chanting from shloka 10 to shloka 14. But the primary thrust of discussion for today will be on, shloka 14. Chapter 3, shloka 10. That's our starting shloka today. You can repeat after me. Saha yagna praja srishtva Puro vacha prajapatihi Anena prasavishyadvam Eshavostvishta kamaduk. Translation, you can repeat after me. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, be thou happy by this yagna, sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. So in this shloka, it's very clear, Sri Krishna is saying, do your yagna. Because once you do your yagna, that performance will give you everything that you need to live in this world. Okay. We'll talk about that. So let's read about text 11. You can repeat after me. Devan bhavayata nena Te deva bhavayantu vaha परस्परं भावयन्तः
परस्परं भावयन्तः
श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यति
श्रेयं परम्
अवाप्स्यता. Repeat after me. The demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you. And thus, by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all. So first shloka is telling do sacrifice, yagna. Second shloka is saying, look, you have a deal with the demigods. You do the sacrifice, he will give you whatever you want to live in this world. Text 12. Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva
इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवा
dashyante yajna bhavitaha
दास्यन्ते यज्ञभावितः
taidattan apradayabhyo
हरितत्तानप्रदायन्यो
yo bhunkte stena eva saha.
यो भुङ्क्ते तेन एव सः.
Repeat after me. In charge
In charge
of the various necessities of life,
of the various necessities of life,
the demigods
the demigods,
being satisfied
being satisfied
by the performance of yagna,
by the performance of yajna,
sacrifice,
sacrifice,
will supply
will supply
all necessities to you.
all necessities to you.
But he who enjoys
But he who enjoys
such gifts
such gifts
without offering them
without offering them
to the demigods in return
to the demigods in return
is certainly a thief.
is certainly a thief.
So, step 1, offer. Step 2, you and demigods, if you offer, demigods will be pleased, he will give to you. In third shloka, that is shloka 12, he is saying, if you don't offer, you are a thief. Be strong. Meaning, you have to offer this. Now the question is, we are always in telling offer to Vishnu, offer to Krishna. But here Krishna is saying offer to demigods. No, it's not contradicting, it's evolving. So we will see the evolution. Okay, text 13. Yajna sishtasina santo. Yajna sishtasina santo. Muchyante sarva kilbishai. Bunjate te tvagam papa. Bunjate te tvagam papa. Ye pachantyatma karanat. So text 13, repeat after me. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sins. Continuation of the previous shloka. So the main shloka for today we will now read. Annad bhavanti bhutani Parjanyadanna sambhavaha Yajnad bhavati parjanyo Yajna karma samudbhavaha. Translation. All living bodies subsist on food grains which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yagna, and yagna is born of prescribed duties. So Krishna is explaining the equivalent of the water cycle or the food cycle here. Actually the food cycle, right? All living entities need grains. Grains come from rain. For rain to come, you have to do yagna, and this yagna is born of prescribed duties. People have got duty to do it, and they have to do it. So, if you see the transition that happens, the question that Arjuna asked was, I'm confused. You are telling me to be like a Sthita Pragya, you are also asking me to fight. That is where the whole conversation is starting. And Shri Krishna is saying him, fight. After fighting, offer everything to me. So, it's not that inaction, be quiet and all that is not acceptable. So, the process of doing your karma and not offering to the Lord or for sell your own material desire is called karma kanda activities, because they will have a reaction and it will definitely tie you to the world positively, negatively based on the action. As we move forward in this chapter, Krishna is saying how you move from karma kanda to karma yoga, right? Yes, offer to me, but how, right? That's what we are going to see. So this path of doing this karma or action selflessly is called Nishkama Karma Yoga. Nishkama means without lust. Meaning in this context, how we need to understand without lust is without satisfying our material desires. Whatever karma yoga you do, right? That means then you're not doing for yourself, you're doing it for the Supreme Lord. So that's why it's called Nishkama Karma Yoga. Okay, so the text is very clear. All of us subsist on grains. There is no confusion. You need rain for grains. This time it is less. They are not doing proper yagna. Rains are produced by performance of yagna. Yagna is done by prescribed duties. So going to text 3.11. The demigods, when they are satisfied with their sacrifice, with your yagna, they will also be pleased. I mean, when they are pleased, they will please you by providing all that you need to live in this world. But by this cooperation, prosperity will reign. So, to the whole, Prabhu has asked the question at the end, yagna means what? What does it mean in this context, right? So, there are many, when we look at Vedas, there are many yagnas like this which have a benefit for everybody, multiple benefits. We have seen that. And each yagna is done for a particular demigod who is responsible for that benefit, right? So, it's important to understand this idea of demigod. The demigod word itself had to be introduced. Yes, Prabhu.
Word demigod and godhead is used.
Not interchangeably. No. They are different. That's, I was coming to that. Because I know in India you don't have a demigod or a semigod, right? Demigod word was introduced for the English devotees, essentially. For us, it is all called as devatas. That is what we mean when we say a demigod. Godhead is the Supreme Lord, the feet of the Supreme Lord.
Godhead is supreme.
Yeah.
Indra is demigod.
Demigod, yes. So, demigods are like positions, it's a role. Indra is a role, Indra is not a person. Indra's role is to control the rains. Varuna's role is to control the oceans. Like that, you have Surya, Chandra, everybody. Their roles, it is a role. So, we have all seen a temple called Surya Narayana, right? What is the meaning of a Surya Narayana temple? Is it Surya or Narayana in that temple? Or both in one? Huh? It's Narayana, but then why we call it Surya Narayana? So, this is a role. Who plays these roles? These roles of Indra, Chandra, Surya, who plays those roles? What is your opinion? Who plays those roles? So it's like, think there's Prime Minister, then there is secretaries, then there is clerks, banking officers, so many. These are all roles. Somebody is playing them. There could be a hierarchy, but more important way to understand is somebody is playing that position, right? All of us can play the role of Surya, Chandra and all that. You have to qualify yourself. In today's way, the way we are, we can't even forget playing that role. We can't go to that world at all, right? However, at certain point, to play that role, nobody will be qualified. None of the living entities. Then Narayana himself will come and play the role. That deity is called Surya Narayana. when he comes and plays that role. Right. So, where I was going with the yagna part is, so all these what do you call, the yagnas are there defined, and we are pleasing the demigod. And see, when we say we are pleasing the demigod, devatas, it is not we are pleasing them individually. There is a rule defined that, all right, if this sacrifice is done, then this benefit has to accrue. And the rules are defined by the Supreme Lord. They are all actors. It's a delegation that has happened here. It's delegated to Indra, Chandra and everybody. And they are now playing that role of running the universe. So the Lord is happily sleeping, or is having fun with his gopas and gopis. Now he has delegated.
Is it correct to say that the benefit is for the community, not for individuals?
That is the evolution. So when you do it for yourself, you're not practicing karma yoga. That's the karma kanda activities we call, because you're doing it for your own benefit. When you do it for the benefit of others, or when you do it as an offering to the Lord, where there is no desire, you're not doing it for your own benefit, that then transcends into the karma yoga part. That's the thought, and that's the evolution which we all should aim for. It is, I mean, see, look, this is the concept, this is the truth, this is the rule. Are we there yet? No. When you do Ayushoma, you want your Ayush to be good, which is okay, right? But after you elevate, my Ayush is dedicated to the Lord. You take me now, otherwise I will be here. That's the transition that should happen. So it will happen. So, I think today's class is 14, right? But I have to 10 to 16, no? So yeah. See, 15 and 16 will be continuation of the same. So I said it's okay. So you can read it at home. Yeah, correct. So so what I was saying was, this whole sacrifice that we are doing, yagna that we are doing, whom do we do it for? Do you do it for the demigod, or do it for the Supreme Lord? You do it for the Supreme Lord, but the Supreme Lord is saying you do it to the demigod. Then to whom should we do?
Do it to the Supreme Lord, to the demigod.
Yeah. Correct. Devatas and all that. And in the end, kaye namaja, kaye navacha, manasendriya nirva, buddhyatmanaba, prakritai swabhavat, karomi dyatyat, sakalam parasmi, narayanayeti samarpayami. I am 100% sure all the yagnas, the last mantra that is chanted is this. In the Bhagavatham, it says this happens. In Narada Muni is actually talking to Vasudeva. He is explaining. What he is explaining is a conversation between, they call the Navayogendras and King Nimi. Navayogendras are nothing but they are sons of Rishabhadev. So Rishabhadev is a great rishi. Their sons. That conversation, Narada Muni is saying to Vasudeva. And in that how it comes is, it will not come that, okay, I am offering. It will come like everybody should offer all this, your mind, body, soul, whatever you are doing, you should offer to the Lord. So that is what Narada Muni is saying in that Bhagavatham chapter. But what Prabhupada is saying, so he is differentiating. There will be many people who will not be able to understand the role of the Supreme Personality, who will understand the Supreme Personality. For them, they offer to demigod. You continue to offer. There will be people who tell, no, Narayana is same, Narayana is same, Indra is same, Chandra is same. Then they continue to do. You offer to Ganesha, whoever the demigod, whichever god you are wanting, you offer. However, what will end up happening is, as they continue to offer, purification happens. And then they will move to a stage where then they can offer to the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada is also saying, if you offer to the Supreme Lord, it is equivalent to offering the demigod, devatas. How? It's like watering the root of the tree. You don't need to water every leaf, stem and branch. Water the root, it goes. So that is the concept here. The question is what yagna, right? And that will be the conclusion. Okay. And it was also said that the practice of yajna means you are inviting the Supreme Lord to be in the Agni and accept the offering through the Agni. So until the Agni is there, the Lord is there in the Agni. That is the understanding of the yajna. That's why you see it's ahuti, right? You're giving everything to the Agni. In a yajna, that's what you are sacrificing. All that you are making, you are sacrificing to the Agni. Now, now when we do, what will happen when we do the sacrifices is purification of anarthas. So when we say anartha, what are we talking about? What are the anarthas? Lust, envy, greed. These anarthas will prevent you from offering to the Supreme Lord. Why? The first thing is, why I should offer? I can get that benefit. Your ego will prevent, your pride will prevent, your envy will prevent. So the first thing, as we do more and more of these yajnas, you reduce all these anarthas. Then you don't care. When you reduce your anarthas, you don't care that I am not doing it for myself. I am happily going to do it for others and offer it to the Supreme Lord. So those anarthas are the villain here, which we have to slowly reduce. Okay. So Prabhupada in one lecture, he says, Krishna is the master of all these demigods, all the devatas. Like I said, if these are departments, so there are multiple departments, there are multiple living entities operating those departments within the rules defined by the Supreme Lord. So when we do all this, see, many times, that's what Prabhupada used to say, it is very easy to explain to foreign devotees because they are starting new. In India, it becomes very difficult. One of my relatives told, how is it? You say that no, Ganesh is a demigod. He left. It's my relative only. Huh? No. So they are so let us say involved in the intensity to Lord Ganesh. They are not able to take the concept, right?
They will perceive it that you are trying to position.
So that is, unfortunately, that is what has happened. It's like even there, like who's first, who's second. So that there's the whole
function in our system within the caste itself. See, because we have so much of classification, those things.
No, I think that is a nature. I will take a class on the caste system. Our caste system was not defined to be the way it is today. It morphed into it. That is the perversion of the individual, but that is not how it is defined. It's like, so you are not by birth a Brahmana. I mean, that is, so there is no doubt. But it happened, everybody who wants to do engineering, all the engineers ganged up together and told only engineers can become engineers. That's what has become the, today it's how it is. You take medical students, what percentage of people are non-doctors, parents, right, who are writing medical? They are writing, but still it's a natural tendency for doctors' children to take up, right? Because by the time they are writing medicine, writing the entrance exam, they are also talking about medicines for cold, cough and all that. They know it's a day-to-day affair in their home. Nothing wrong with it. What ends up happening is the doctors gang up together and tell, no, only we will become doctors. That has happened. So, yeah, none of our rishis are Brahmanas. Do you know that, right? They're not. All, including Vedavyas, who wrote the Vedas, is not a Brahmana. But who?
Mother is not a Brahmin.
Yeah, matlab, you're not Brahmin by birth. You're not born in a Brahmin family, right? So, meaning, but they became a Brahmana. I mean, otherwise you can't do that. And that is not a wrong thing. To become a Brahmana, there is a set of qualifications which you have to do. Everybody who meets that can become a Brahmana. Today, the people who are born in a Brahmin family are not Brahmanas. They are samodama tata shaucham kshantirevam. So there are 8 qualities for a Brahmana. You have to have shama, dhamma, mean tolerance, calmness, cleanliness. So there are 8 qualities. I forgot the shloka, but it's difficult. Selflessness. Where you'll go for selflessness. So then, and so that is what it has become. Okay, now We spoke about the demigods, we spoke that they are all positions, and that anybody can qualify to become a demigod or a devata. So Bali Maharaj, we all know Bali Maharaj. Who's Bali Maharaj? Who? Prahlada's grandson, right? But what is he famous for more? That? Huh? Correct. Right? So he was the one who was crushed. So he is going to become Indra in the next Manvantara, and I will tell you what a Manvantara is. He is slated to become the Indra in next Manvantara. Okay, we will go do some mathematics now. Should not fall asleep. Satya Yuga, how many years? 17 lakh years. Okay. Treta Yuga, about 13 lakh, 12.96. Dwapara Yuga, 8 lakh 64. Kali Yuga, 4 lakh 32. All put together, it's about 43.1 lakh years. So, Yuga 1, Yuga 2, Yuga 3, Yuga 4 is called one Mahayuga. Okay. This is 43 lakh years. Now, Brahmaji, 1000 Mahayugas is one day of Brahma. 1000 like this. So, this 4 yugas, when it repeats 1000 times, becomes one day of Brahma. Similarly, when he repeats like this 1000 times, it becomes one night of Brahma. Then it becomes one full day. So, which means one day, leave the night part, one day of Brahma means 4.32 billion years it will take. So, together it will be 8.64 billion years, one full day of Brahma. Right? Now, so now what has happened is, or how our Vedic scriptures have divided is this 1000 Mahayugas, that is 1000 times repetition of the 4 yugas, is divided into 14 Manvantaras. And what is a Manvantara? This Manvantara is the point at which the positions will change. New entities, living entities who are qualified will take up positions, the 33 crore demigods positions, they will take every Manvantara. Which means we have in 1000, one day of Brahma, which is 1000 Mahayugas, we have for every 71 Mahayugas, there will be one Manvantara. Meaning, when 71 times Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali, it repeats 71 times, then second Manvantara, third Manvantara, it will happen like that. So that is the calculation. So for every Manvantara, these demigods will change. Okay, so that is the principle. So Krishna is, with all these analytical things and all that, Krishna is the ultimate beneficiary. He says himself in chapter 5, text 29, he says, Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suradam sarvabhutanam nyatva mam shantim rachati. Bhoktaram yagna tapasam, the beneficiary of all sacrifices and all austerities and all penances in all planets and done by demigods is to me the Supreme Lord. I am the benefactor of all the austerities, and I am a friend to all the living entities. Right? So he's making it clear. So Krishna is the ultimate beneficiary. That's why I said the Kaya Namacha Mana Sendri Airvar. Correct. Buddhyatmanava Prakritai Swabhavat Karomi Yatyat Sakalam Parasmi Narayanayeti Samarpayami. My body, my speech, my mind, my senses, my intelligence, my soul, whatever I do with them, I offer everything to Narayana. It's in Bhagavatham 11.2.36. Okay. So, Bhagavad Gita is giving an idea of how we should live. Prabhupada always tells, simple living, high thinking. This, our current structure, so if you see the evolution, we were nomads, then we settled near rivers and did agriculture, then industrial revolution happened, and now we are in knowledge revolution. Interestingly, there is a Earlier there were many of these people, but today they don't call them. They're people called futurists. They write a lot of books. There's one book though which really affected my thinking by a gentleman called Alvin Toffler. So he's written a book called, many books, but I'm sure you would have written Future Shock. So the book I'm referring to is called Third Wave. So what he's saying is, when these changes happen, we go nomadic to agriculture, agriculture to industrial, industrial to knowledge, wars will happen. The reset happens through a war. More importantly, the thing that really, at that time, I probably read that book about 20 years ago, and I thought, how can this happen? And what he told at that time was, in the future, there will be no employees. Nobody will work for companies. Everybody will be working for himself, which means everybody will be a contractor. A company will be nothing but a marketing unit. Their idea and marketing unit. You want to do something? Now, if you look at it, this COVID has accelerated that process. Everybody wants to work like a contractor. Nobody wants to do full time. Nobody wants to work 18 hours a day. Companies they are adjusting to that. Yeah, everyone wants to be a consultant. So, and I'm not telling we are there yet, but I'm seeing the trend. So anyway, I mean, that is just a sidebar. What Prabhupada said is, this method of living tied us too much to this material world, because there is no more simple living and high thinking. It is high living and simple thinking, right? Which means you spend so much time in satisfying your material things, because that is how it is structured. You cannot do anything else. So what is the alternative way of living? Prabhupada said you need only two things to do simple living and high thinking. What are the two things? That cow and a piece of land. And God. Of course, that God goes without saying. The Lord will provide you, if you do your duties, the prescribed duties, the Lord will provide you with rain, which provides grains and all that, and this grain, everything will come in the land, right? And cow will provide you everything else that you need. So your life, for you to live, if you have roti, kapda, makan, if you take that, the roti part is taken care, kapda will happen through barter, makan will be there. Makan though is a given, right? Because you have land, you will get a makan. So your basic needs are satisfied. Then you can focus a lot of your time on spiritual activities. So the percentages, if you do 20-80 today, 20 in spiritual and 80 in material, percentages will become ulta. You do 80 in spiritual and 20 in material. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. You have to move towards simple living and high thinking. Because he says, see, you get the natural gifts. Some of the natural gifts he's listing grains, fruits, vegetables, hills, rivers, minerals, pearls, all the beautiful stones, all that. It is all available. What are you doing? So when people are making gold and diamond, are they making gold? Gold should come from the earth. They are doing design with gold. These beautiful stones, diamond, what do they do? Diamond is from the earth only, right? We have not yet reached a stage where we can apply pressure and make diamond out of carbon. Not there yet, technology. Maybe one day, who knows. But all these things are already available. So we are, no need, if we get this and focus our attention on spirituality, that should be the way we should live. But it's difficult, no? Srinivas Prabhu is thinking, what is this? How can we live like that? But Prabhuji, you have a question in your face. But Iskcon, through various programs, is attempting that. In Virginia, there is a farm where they are doing this. They are living like this. Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj, any of you went to Belgaum? Maybe 4 or 5 months ago. No. So that's where Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj is there. He is setting a eco farm. It is living only with natural things, meaning there is no electricity, nothing in the farm. They don't even use soap. Soap is also pollutant. So you get soap nut. So like that, for everything they have a natural thing. They are trying to live like that. There are people, it's difficult. We are used to things. Near Belgaum. So, but yeah.
How can we from can apply simple living and I think
It's a
in what
process.
ways can we do
It's a
that?
process, yeah. In what ways is, couple of things. The starting point is chanting. There is no doubt, right? That will help you do that. We can see, at least the only suggestion I can give at this point is engage in service. All the time that you get, engage in service. Obviously I cannot tell simple living high thinking tomorrow, Mataji, leave your job and come. That's not going to happen, and that is not practical. But at least the time, see, if you really look at it, Haridas Thakur divided his time into 22 hours of chanting and 2 hours for something else. So in one lecture I was hearing 8 hours sleep, 8 hours work, 8 hours for the remaining things, which is spirituality, your own maintenance and all that. So he divided into like that. It is, as I said, it's a process of evolution. It will go one by one. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, one suggestion is you can cut down on material.
Absolutely.
You can have a lunch at restaurant for 10 rupees, 100 rupees, for 10,000 rupees also. So
Yeah, yeah.
later we realize that,
True.
better spend on other things.
Yeah. Good point. You could have spent it on other things which are
There's starvation in the world.
correct. But yeah, as I said, it's a process of evolution. See, if this type of living is also it gives everybody dignity, right? There's no more poor and rich. Everybody has got very similar resources. Maybe somebody has more land, somebody has less land, but the outcome is the same. I have 1 sack of grain, I'm happy. You have 10 sacks of grain, fine, all right. But so there is a dignity in that. We are too far gone. The only thing now we can do is, okay, in this world, how can you apply this principle? That's the only thing that we can do. Because how do you change the system in the world? Or it will happen in 500 years, where the system will collapse. Because look, which civilization has run like this for, let us say, 1,000 years? US is about 350 years old. They are already having fault lines. Now, can they live with that fault line? We don't know. There's a black, white, transgender, everybody is fighting with everybody. Right? India, the fault lines have been there. Everybody has been there for now, I don't know, 500 years, maybe 1,000 years. And we have learned to live with that. There is always, but unfortunately, India is changing. See, this whole thing about, hey, you live as a community versus live as an individual is the big thing. When you live as a community, your tolerance is more, you're able to accept others better. You're sacrificing your personal comfort when you live in a community. As when you live as an individual, you can't sacrifice your personal comfort, and that is the biggest thing. Even when your parents come, it becomes a burden because your life is impacted. You can talk to people living in the US. It's a fact. There's no right or wrong. But if you grow up and if you live a life of an individual, okay, me and my wife and my children are only family, you will find it difficult to adjust. And then how do you tolerate others? So we will see how the future is. Okay. The other aspect, as we do, I mean, if you're offering to Lord, whatever food you're eating, everything that you're doing, offer to the Lord. The one aspect that gets missed out of all this is gratitude. Right? We are not grateful. We are not trained to be grateful. Why should I be grateful is the first question. If you bring up children to have that gratitude, they will have the gratitude. To whom should you be grateful? The Lord for giving all this, your parents, your guru, your teachers, so many people, and the farmer who is giving you food. There is a list of the scriptures, there is a list of people whom you should be grateful to. And a simple exercise you can do, where first thing, wake up in the morning, chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, spend 5 minutes being thankful. See, there is a difference. It's not saying the gratitude, it's feeling the gratitude. Because you should feel, I'm paying 40 rupees for that rice. Why I should be grateful to the farmer? This is the predominant attitude, right? So money has spoiled the thing. Anyway, he is taking money. That's all. So if he does for free, will you give gratitude? No, you'll find something, hey, isme kya hai? Why is he giving for free? There will be no gratitude. We are so hardened. So Prabhupada, one Acharya said, when I was listening to a lecture, he said, if our heart is hard, the bhakti seed will not sit properly, will not entrench. We have to make our heart fertile. The way you make it fertile is by being thankful. Then the seed of bhakti, pure spirituality, will sit. When you make your heart fertile, fertile means soft, with that feeling of gratitude, then the seed of bhakti will implant itself firmly in our heart. So that is important. If we don't have the service attitude, right, I mean, it is very difficult. And when you don't have gratitude, you will not have the service attitude. If you are not thankful, why will you do service to anybody? I'm giving money, why I have to do service? The whole thing boils down to, without realizing what is this money? It is a piece of paper, which a government tells you, I promise to pay somebody. Now that you have that money, government is guaranteeing you that he will pay you that $100. And what is the use? Okay, fine, we went away from barter system, but barter system is enough. Oh, today I want clothes, I have grains, okay, take grain, give clothes. That is enough mercantile activity, that is, that has to happen, economic activity, for us to live in the life. Only if you want to live with luxury, right? I mean, it's like all about, okay, now I do all the research, I found out all these products, I have to use this in my life. Yeah. Then you need a medium of exchange. Then money became that medium of exchange. So, anyway, so which means, what I meant was, we have to instill gratitude within ourselves, instill gratitude within our children. Unfortunately, today's children, it's difficult. They have, and we are to blame. Our parents instilled something in us. We forgot to instill that in our children. And this is a problem when wealth comes into any society. Definitely in India, last 25 years, wealth has come. Sure, there's a lot more poverty, all that, but definitely, I am definitely living much better than how my parents lived. So then, but when wealth comes, when there is no little bit of, let us say, austerity in our life, right? What happens when current goes for 4 hours? Can our children live?
It's very easily available for them.
Yeah, I mean, okay, there are, well, that's the what you call objective of progress, right? When you progress, make it easy for everybody. Fine, the side effect of that is, there is no gratitude. I will take it for granted. You are entitled. In India, at least, power cuts are still there. In the US, if power goes for 2 hours, how dare the power company did not supply? That's what it is. Of course, it happens. I mean, when there is a severe snowstorm for 2 days, 3 days, and all power has gone, because you can't repair in that snowstorm. So, but that is the point. I mean, you take it for granted. If you grow up with that, this has to be available always, right? Then it's difficult. Once you're used to it, if you're used to, my father can sleep without fan, I can't sleep without fan. Our children cannot sleep without AC. So it's just progress. So if we can instill that gratitude, it's not late. You can instill even now. 5 minutes all it takes in the morning. Without fan. I agree. I mean, in fact, when I came to Bangalore, right, I mean, it's about 98. Even in summer, you didn't need fan, and that was the fact. Even in summer, you can live comfortably without fan. So today, it's impossible. Now, last 10 days.
Not the question of it is not the question of temperatures, global warming, and all that. Lot of it has got to do with attitude. Because a lot of conveniences come or whatever. So like, now, so I even my own daughter, I tell you, she wants, irrespective of the temperature in the night or whatever, she wants at the maximum speed.
Yeah.
So I think, see, lot of it is preconceived. Or
No,
what
but I am also like that. my wife is like,
yeah.
why do you need fan
Yeah.
in winter?
That makes a perfect couple, right? When one wants the couple
That doesn't it? Yeah, and she's like, your full speed the fan is going, you're also having a full blanket on it.
No, and then you need to have, see, but you don't want to reduce the next one, but you see.
No, so you're used to it. It's there. No?
More of you have got used to certain things or whatever.
Yeah.
You are related to things.
Yeah.
More of that actually.
No, but see, comfort also matters, right? What Prabhu is saying also is true. At that time, I could sleep without fan. It was not about attitude anymore. But that 3 degrees increase, we forget global warming. The reality is the trees are out and buildings have come. Our summer is definitely, how much was the summer at that time? It didn't cross 30, 28, 29. If it crosses 30, rain will come. Right? So it was comfortable. Of course, I'm not disputing what you're saying because I am an example for what you're saying. So that is also a fact. So the scripture said that there are a set of yagnas that prescribe duties for agrahastha, brahmana to do. That is their prescribed duty. And when they do their duty, all the other things in the nature will happen, will continue to happen. Which today, there is no grahastha who is doing a yagna. So this Agnihotris, right? It's a surname, Agnihotri. They come from the Agnihotra clan. They have to do that yagna every day. That set of Brahmins have to do that. Even Agnihotri, Rati Agnihotri came and acted. Right? What I am saying is nothing wrong. I mean, that's what I am trying to say is all that surnames have no meaning today. Even though it might look like a Brahmin name, their prescribed duty or something different. So everybody is, Prabhupada clearly says, in Kali Yuga, everybody is born a Shudra. Even though we might be doing a Vaishya thing, because the mentality and everything will be of the qualities that is of lower nature. Everybody can elevate. So these are 4 levels. Unfortunately, it became, oh, these are superior people. No. These are 4 levels of achievement which you can do. And if you achieve the level of Brahmana and you want to point out to somebody and tell, hey, look, you are inferior to me. Hey, boss, you have not achieved that qualification. You first have to fall down. Because that should be the mentality of a Brahmana, which is, well, today it is not there or it is not at all possible. So, Krishna, it is said that Krishna is the ultimate beneficiary, but in many of his leelas, what he does also, he observes. You are offering a beneficiary, okay, you are offering something. Is there pride in you? Right? When there is pride in you, what has to happen? Once Garuda felt that, hey, it's because of me the Lord is going from place to place. If I am not there, how will the Lord travel? He is feeling very happy. Satyabhama came to Supreme Lord and said, I am the most beautiful queen of all your queens. Sudarshan Chakra told, if I am not there in the finger of the Lord, how will the Lord win any battle? And then the Lord thought, it's time now. So he told Garuda, you go to Hanumanji, you ask him to come and meet me. For very long he wants to see the Ram Lakshmana form of me. I'm going to give him darshan. You ask him to come and meet me. He told to Satyabhama, look, you make Rukmini Devi ready. Okay? Hanuman will come, we have to give darshan. Satyabhama, why? Why I can't sit with you? I am the most beautiful queen. Said, look, I told you now. Later, don't blame me. Who is saying this? The Lord is saying. Huh? Said, okay, fine. Then he told to Garuda, go and stand in the entrance. Don't allow anybody to come in. Sorry, he told to Sudarshan Chakra. Sorry. So Garuda went to Hanumanji and said, let's go. The Lord is going to give you your wish. Hanumanji told, okay, you go. Thank you for the information. Come. Garuda said, sit on me. Even Vayu I can take faster. You will not know how fast I can take you. Hanumanji said, stop it. It's enough. You go, I will come. So Garuda went. Hanumanji is already there before Garuda. And Garuda is thinking, how did this happen? Sudarshan Chakra is saying, nothing doing. Supreme Lord told, nobody should come in. He caught the Sudarshan Chakra, put it in his mouth, and he walked in. Hanumanji. Satyabhama is sitting with Supreme Lord. Yes, Lord Ram. But why are you sitting with this Dasi? Satyabhama got very angry. She runs to Rukmini. He wants only you. You go and sit. So slowly, one by one, everybody's ego and pride was killed. When that gratitude is not there, all these things will come up. So I'll end with one beautiful pastime. This is a true pastime. My Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, whom I have been talking about, he lives in Mayapur. Mayapur has two main deities. First, it was Radha Madhav. I know in the Bhakti Center we are having this Radha Madhav and Ashta Sakis, 8 Sakis, right? So that's one deity. Very, very beautiful. Beautiful deity. Then later, they installed the Panchatattva. Jai Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhar Pandit. These are the Panchatattva's. That's whom we chant. We call for, seek for when we chant, asking them to help us chant and reduce our offenses while we chant. So the Panchatattva and Radha Madhava is there in Mayapur. Very beautiful deities. They get opulent prasadam. Opulent Mayapur, if you go and see the prasadam, very opulent prasadam. 5 kilometers before, maybe it's 10 kilometers, there's a place called Rajapur. From Mayapur, if you come, there's a place called Rajapur where there is a Jagannath temple, Jagannath Baladev, Subhadramai. The poor cousin of Mayapur at that time. So they are offering very simple things, right, to the Lord, and all that is happening. One day the Lord came into the priest's dream and he said, boss, sorry, wrong choice of words, Pujari, we are all going to Mayapur. In the dream of the Pujari, Jagannath ji, Baladev ji, Subhadramai are all walking towards Mayapur. And they are telling, look, we will continue and go to the end if you don't improve. Look at Radha Madhav, look at the prasadam he is getting. What are you offering me? Some simple curd rice, some poha, something. You see the opulence, we are going to go there only and we will take care there. So the Pujari got frightened. So he went to, at that time this temple was not a Iskcon temple. So somebody installed the deities and all that. So he went to Mayapur. The Pujari ran to Mayapur, said, my deity is told in the dream. So then Iskcon took it under its fold. So everything that is offered there comes here, right? So at offering, see, people think as offer, I am offering to a, if not a stone, we are offering to a to an entity that does not have life. Srila Prabhupada said, when you go to a temple and you are looking at a deity, the Supreme Lord himself is there. You should know that life is there in that particular deity. That the prana pratishtha, what we do is bring that energy, bring that Lord into that particular deity. That's what the installation of a temple means. That's what we are doing. So see, and this is happening in our lifetime, not like everything is not 500 years ago. Now, so this is very, Guru Maharaj explains, he will explain so beautifully. He said, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Maya are running towards Mayapur and the priest is chasing them. So that is the nature. In fact, there is another instant when one devotee took prasadam from this Rajapur Jagannath and he threw it. He didn't consume. Well, he disrespected. I mean, it's not like whatever I'm not able to or health or whatever. He disrespected the prasadam. TK, they all left it. Next day he comes running, give me prasadam, give me prasadam. He's saying, what happened? I don't know what happened. 3 people came in the night. The person in white is telling, let us kill him. The person who is dark is telling, no, no, let us give him one more chance. And the person in yellow is like, kill him, kill him, kill him, and is coming towards me. So this is person in white is Baladev, person in dark is Krishna, Jagannath, and person in yellow is Subhadra. So next day he comes running to the temple and says, give me prasadam. Right? So these are all not, these are all stories that happen. Don't disrespect. People they don't care. Many people don't care. I don't believe in God. So I will disrespect. Really? So many people in Twitter and they're like, Krishna is a molester. Krishna is a molester. What? What kind of statement is that? It's karma. I mean, you might not believe. You will have to pay the price. Even whether you believe it or not. That's the law of the land. Prabhupada always says, if you tell there is a traffic signal and if you say, oh, I don't believe in the traffic signal and you go, will there be no consequence? You will pay the price for that. Because you don't believe there is no traffic signal does not mean the traffic signal does not exist. So that will happen. So in this yuga, since all the other yagnas are not done consistently, the yagna that has been given to us to do, which can be done by anybody, there is no qualification needed to do that, is Sankirtan Yagna, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. I might have told this when Prabhupada went to US. He was debating with a father, a pastor, right? So the pastor said, why are you coming from India and taking my boys and doing? He said, because you are not teaching your boys to chant. You let them, you want to chant them to chant the name of Jesus? It's okay, but chant. That is the dharma of this age, to chant the name of the Lord. You are not doing that. Since you are not doing that, they are coming to me. So it was very, and it is a fact. If you go to Europe and US, I think almost all temples are old churches. They bought a church, converted it into a temple. That's what they did, because there is nobody wants to. Of course, there are Christians who are very serious, very intense, follow the Bible, clear. I mean, diligently, religiously. But by and large, it's agnostic, if not atheistic. I don't care if God is existing. That is also not the meaning of agnostic, but I'm just using it in this term. But that is unfortunate. The same thing is happening in our country also, slowly. So, the yagna that we should practice intensely is Sankirtan Yagna. Chant the name of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this to us. He introduced this so by the time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came itself, people started doing a lot of, immoral things in the name of Bhakti. Somebody wants to behave like Krishna, somebody wants to tell, I am Gopi, and you end up playing the part literally. It's basic immoral activities at that time. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and said, put an end to it. This is not, actually, the bigger fight was done by Bhakti Vinod Thakur at that time, and this is during the British time, probably 1800s, I think, late 1800s. So anyway, so our job is to just chant the name of the Lord. The Sankirtan Yagna, the culmination of Sankirtan Yagna is Krishna consciousness. We are in the process, but when you chant the name of the Lord, you will end up having the consciousness of Krishna. The Bhagavatham says the following, Canto 11. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagnai Sankirtana Prayai Yajantihi Sumedaha. So, Meda, okay, there are no Tamilians here, but there is a term called Medavi, you know. I know in Kannada also is there. Very intelligent person, right? So, the Medasa is coming, it's a Sanskrit root. That word has got a Sanskrit root. Medasaha means an intelligent, Sumedaha, right? Sumedha, very intelligent person. So, it says Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam. Chanting the names of Krishna, who has a golden luster? Who? Krishna. Sango Pangastra Parshadam. Along with all the other devotees and the people who want to serve the Lord. This is what you call as congregational chanting. Everybody joins together and chanting. Yagnai Sankirtanai Prayar. This sacrifice, which contains mainly of congregational chanting, Yajanti Sumedaha. This is definitely followed by intelligent people for worship. So, which means if you are chanting, you are intelligent. If you are not chanting, you are not so intelligent. So, yeah, so Bhagavatham says that, Krishna says that we will all chant the name of the Lord once and end the class today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna.